Okay, we're live. Don't cuss. Well, cuss if you want, but I'm just telling you, we're live. Because this is on record.
Don't even handcuff
Mom,
me.
Mom, this is
Mom
PG.
You said Mom was going to be here. That's why I showed up. I'm only here for Mom. Where is Mom?
This is a PG-rated video.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Friends.
Good luck with that.
Welcome. Oh, we're back. Pack Leaders of Real Estate. We are with Keith Lynham, president of the Nevada Realtors.
I am.
I know, I got it right this time. Keith was past president of our Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. Gives them heck all the time. Still.
Did today as well.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
What happened?
Had to slap Blatchard around a little bit. Tommy, if you're listening, I'm going to slap you around a little bit here and a little bit.
He liked it. He liked it. But I wanted to have Keith on today and just to talk to you guys about the short-term rentals that were approved last week for the city of Henderson. The Las Vegas area would be ideal for short-term rentals and is ideal for short-term rentals. We get most of our state revenue is through tourism, right?
Yeah. Still pay most of the sales tax. There's figures out there, but most of the sales tax is still paid by out-of-state people. Gaming is still a large part of our funding. So, yeah, we want tourists. We want tourists here. We want them coming in here and being comfortable.
Absolutely.
Staying for as long as they can and paying for as much as they want.
And that's a huge reason that we don't have state income tax, correct? It's
correct.
Because we have all that tourism and all those funds coming in. And those funds come from room taxes.
Room taxes, sales tax. So all the restaurants, there's an entertainment tax that's on there. All of the room tax and the sales tax is a huge portion of that quarter, the resort quarter of what is commonly known as a strip. That comes in, yeah, absolutely. So for those of you that don't know, last week the city council in Henderson voted short-term rentals, approved it. Which it's kind of big news that in the city of Henderson in the greater Las Vegas area, there's only a couple areas that they are legally allowed. It happens, but legally they are supposed to be kept to a certain area. What is the old rules of the short-term rentals? You know, it's changed so much in Henderson. I'm not sure if they were allowed or not.
They
or if
weren't.
This is in there, so this was not. So most of them are. Las Vegas, you have to have the owner lives in there. That's just not conducive to anything. I don't want to stay in a building with
Some
an
weirdos.
owner in there. There's 3 or less buildings. You're basically rooming with the owner. And they did it for a purpose. They did it to make it illegal for short-term rentals to exist in the city of Las Vegas. The other municipalities, I think they've kind of followed suit. All of them have made it fairly tough to do short-term rentals. And it's become a neighborhood issue. It's become a party house, and nobody wants a party house. So nobody wants to live next to a party house. It doesn't have to be a short-term rental to live next to a party house, though.
That's true.
There's unruly residents. There's unruly homeowners. We've all lived next to that one homeowner that nobody wants to live to. Well, we've all lived there.
Is that you?
I am a...
Do not disturb, and it still did it.
Still did the whole thing, yeah. What was it? Bad date number 3. What was that? For the caller ID. Whoever called...
I just label them different.
You just label them different?
So I can remember which one it is in my head.
Bad date at Panavino? All right. Write that down on the notes.
Yeah, so anywhere can have you can have a party house next to you, right?
Exactly. You can have a party house next to you. You can have a bad neighborhood next to you.
Yeah.
You can have it. So I think at some point we'll get to Henderson, but at some point we have to have a conversation, and that's all I've ever said. People are losing their shit over this whole thing. That whenever I hear, "Oh, I'm going to sell all my properties in Henderson," well, sign me up because you're reactionary. And on the other side of that is, "Oh, I'm going to buy everything I can in Henderson." Well, that's a reactionary point too. You've got the figures. The HOAs are going to control this thing, and they can tell you that you can or you can't have one. They will enforce it. And if anybody thinks we can't enforce things on the HOA level, have not thought about what happened in the last 8 years with HOA liens and foreclosures and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Keith is very knowledgeable on this stuff because, like I say, he sat on the board of the local association and now the state association, and so you see all kinds of
See it
all of these topics come across the table. And okay, so as far as the city of Henderson approving it last week, how does that happen? Like, you know, I saw a picture of a ton of people in the audience. How does that happen? That just the city council votes on it, but the community has to also, they give the council people their 2 cents on it, correct?
We're in a republic. I mean, and I've heard all kinds of, well, the residents didn't vote on it. Well, they elect their representatives just like we do in Congress and everywhere else, and they decide what's best for the community. If enough people in the community didn't like what they decide, they vote them out. It's the way it works. It's the way America works.
That's why you vote. That's why you got to vote. That's why you got to pay attention to who you're voting for. And also what's important, what we did with that last bill that went through regarding the landlords and that, we were constantly, as realtors, and Keith is an active realtor as well as myself, we contact our council people and our state elected officials in regards to these issues that are coming up, and it's important to do that. Even as a resident in the community, you have that right to do that, and I don't think many people do. They just blame it on everybody else. Well, look at what they did. Well, you didn't vote. You didn't give your 2 cents.
Last municipal, I don't know what it was in Henderson, but I bet it was under 20%. The people that could vote that voted, so that's who's making these decisions.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think it was a bad decision. It was you know, that's. They opened it up a little bit. They're allowing short-term rentals, but again, HOAs can shut that down if they don't feel it's necessary in their neighborhoods. They can shut it down.
Yeah.
And
HOAs trump it.
Yeah.
Just because it's approved in the city of Henderson, HOAs still trump it. And I told Keith I was reading an article this morning about there's something like 80-some% of the homes in Henderson anyway are in HOAs.
Sounds right.
So, even though it's the city of Henderson approves it, make sure you check your HOA guidelines. And some HOAs, I've read the rules around the short-term, what they consider a short-term rental is even a minimum of 30 days.
Correct. Yeah,
So,
it's under 30 days. Yes.
Yeah. So, but some of them are 6 months. So check the rules of the HOA because they can make whatever they want.
You're talking about rental restrictions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah. They the one I'm in is a year. You can only have a year's lease in the building I'm in. So yes, I see what you're saying.
HOAs trump all of that. So just because you're in the city of Henderson, again, make sure you check your HOA rules. So the new rules, as far as you know of what they are in the city of Henderson, what are those? So you don't have to live in. I don't have to live in the house.
No, I've heard that on the internet. Though you have to live there. No, you don't have to live there. I think there's some setbacks. There's a fee of about $1,000.
Come in, Steve Hawks.
We're doing
Come
live.
in, Steve.
Yes. We're live.
Peeking.
What's up?
We got Steve
Here's
Hawks.
one of the ones. He's gonna. I think you're gonna move out of Henderson.
We're talking
right?
about short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Anything? Any 2 cents you want to add? We're just talking about how it's going to affect housing and the rules and the guidelines and.
Well, yeah, you saw that truck out there, right? It's all full of legal dope, marijuana. I mean, now Keith is doing his short-term rental, filling up with legalized marijuana.
Bring him in.
That little marijuana fire pit you got. I mean,
You want to give me your address?
Henderson is going to be the legal. It's going to be what better short-term.
I've got
place
your
in the
address
world.
on Airbnb right now.
I mean, you're going to have marijuana.
Tell Ashley to
legal.
move over.
Then you got the biggest party city in the world 20 minutes away. Henderson's going to be the.
First of all, nobody even knows where Henderson's at to give it the party.
They don't yet.
Yeah.
As soon as your ad goes out with 20 minutes from the strip, and
if you live on Water Street, it's coming to your town. Here we go. It's coming.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Back to business.
Oh, we had to have a guest in here. That was good. I want to see that van. You got a new marketing material out
there? We got all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so how do you think this is going to impact housing?
In spite of what you just heard.
Yeah, that was a guest, Steve.
Not at all. It's not going to move the needle one iota. Nobody's going to be begging to go. I love Henderson. Nobody's Googling vacationing in Henderson. The areas that are in there, they'll still need to be close to the Strip, the resort corridor. That's still going to be the most desirable place. We've done an in-depth study on why people do the vacation rental. The markets that don't have housing, that don't have hotel rooms, they're big. Lake Tahoe, it's a big deal in Lake Tahoe. There is no hotel rooms.
What do you mean?
There's not enough hotel rooms
Okay.
for the tourists that go to Lake
There's
Tahoe
not enough built.
at any point in time, in the summer or in there, so they need that vacation rental market. Well, we've got hotel rooms here.
Yeah. Lots.
The other one is the hotel rooms are at a level that they can't afford it. Well, we've got a wide range of hotel rooms for a wide range of people that come here. So they don't come here, they don't not come here because they can't find a hotel room or they can't afford a hotel room. There are families, yes, that want to come do reunions and do the parties and do all that stuff, but they're still going to want to be close to the resort corridor. So I don't see it as being an attractive option for Henderson to all of a sudden be overwhelmed by vacation rentals. That's my opinion.
So it's not going to. So the people that are opposing it, typically, you're saying that it's not going to just get run over by short-term rental partiers, and that's the concern of most of the people that don't want them in their neighborhood.
So we're down to 20% of Henderson that can do it. If they're that outraged by it, all 80% of that homeowners associations are, we're going to outlaw them. So you're down to 20%. Mm-hmm. I don't know where that 20% is. I'm imagining it's probably in some of the southwest part or the western side of that that's not developed yet. That's probably a big chunk of it. There aren't even any homes there. And then downtown Henderson, the old parts of Henderson. I'm sure that's parts of the places that are going to be there. So I just don't see it being a big impact one way or the other.
Okay. So what were you hearing the pros about it?
You know, it's a tough deal. Look, I get it. I had one 2 doors down from me when I lived in Southern Highlands. I had a vacation rental. And I didn't know if there was 100 times, but out of 100 rentals that were there were only 2 times that it was ever an issue. Both times I went over there and knocked at the door. First time they were like, "Oh, you know what? We'll chill. We'll apologize. It is later than we thought it was." And the other time they didn't care, so we just called the cops. And somebody had already called the cops already. They were going crazy. So nobody wants that in their neighborhood. Nobody wants that part of it. But then on the other side of that is, you know, at what point do you say you can't do something in your house that you want to do?
Yeah. I have some clients that were doing Airbnb a few years ago, and then they made it illegal. But they were using it as additional income, and it would just be, you know, random people that were flight attendants or something coming in town and staying.
It's always the flight attendants.
They're always the flight attendants. Or, you know, just random people or people that have jobs that are just periodically, and it ended up working out, and it helped them also with their income on their home. So that is part of it.
I've got friends, they come here every year from Montana and all over the place. We're all from Montana, and there was 18 of them last year, and they've got one place that they've stayed at. They rented out a number of years ago. They've been doing it for like 12 years. And they've got one guy that's got a couple of houses in here, and they rent from him. And now they have actually literally become friends, so they can honestly say, "Hey, we're friends of the owner."
Yeah.
And we're showing them. They've never had any complaints over there. They go out. They'll go to the Strip when they want. And they'll hang out and they'll do barbecue, all that stuff. But that's what they want. They would not want to get a hotel room. And I get that. I understand that.
Well, I have clients even relocate from out of state, and they end up staying at budget suites in the interim, say between, and those are scary places. So having the option of an Airbnb is a much safer option. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's also, rents are really high right now. In our area. Yeah. They've gone up tremendously in the last couple years. But Airbnb as an investor, Airbnb a house out, I could make even more than my mortgage.
Making pretty good money on some of those. Yeah.
So that's an option too. That's a pro for investors in the Henderson area. But again, you got to find it not in the HOA. And there's also a license that you need.
There's a license. I think it's $900 something. 9-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, around $900.
$300,000 to set it up and get all the business licensing and all that stuff. And then you got to advertise and you got to do all that stuff too.
Yeah, and manage it and get it all done. But it's an option. It's an income option. Sure. It's another way to make money.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure the property manager. One of the complaints that we were faced with, particularly in Las Vegas, is that they couldn't get a hold of the owner. So they wanted a number posted, and they wanted to be able to get a hold of the number. And our solution was pretty simple: just have a licensed property manager.
So
that's responsible to respond if things get out of hand or if something needs to be fixed. You have a licensed property manager who's bonded, who's all those things, and you go before the real estate division and complain if they need to.
So is that a rule?
They just legalized the whole thing, and so in the city of Las Vegas.
But that's a smart
I think there's a part of it
way to do it. If you're gonna do an Airbnb, hire a.
Things. Yeah.
I.
Be smart.
So no, hiring a property manager to manage it. Even if you are locals, things happen in the middle of the night. People coming in and out. Got to get it cleaned. Got to get deposits. Let somebody, a professional, take care of that. Do you know anybody that property manager that specifically does short-term rentals?
I'm sure. Yeah, I know there is out there, but
that's a niche somebody can start picking up too.
Yeah.
Anything else around? Make sure you pay your taxes if you have a short-term rental as an income property.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea, right?
But that's how they were catching the people before, and that's how there was no licensing necessarily for them, but they were getting them on back taxes, $80,000 or something in back taxes. So I mean, it's something that pay your taxes.
Yeah.
It's not just free income. It's money.
Who'd have thought? I gotta make a note of that.
Keith, thank you. Are
we getting good comments?
Yeah, I haven't seen. If you guys have any questions about, you can't see. You got your glasses on.
I had surgery. My eyes are dilated.
Oh, they are.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
okay.
No. Do you guys have any questions? I can't.
See, you give me crap.
No. Shit. Hold on.
You get buttons going on.
I don't know. I can't bring it up.
We'll
Anyway, if you have questions, post them in the comments. I don't know what I just did, but it's not going back. I can't see. Yeah, I actually think it's a good thing. I think it's another income opportunity for investors. But like you said, I don't think it's going to be a big issue.
It's not panacea for anybody.
It's not going to be a big thing. And if it is...
And we need stability. Frankly, we need stability. Any investor that's looking in here. Date number 5. How many bad dates have you had?
I've been around the block a time or two.
Let's do a live one on that one. That's your post this morning. Starting to worry.
I gotta say. Anyway, I appreciate you. Good to see you.
Take a look at that vacation brochure I gave you this morning.
Bye, guys. I don't know what's going on.
I've never done Facebook Live. See, you're still on.
I can't get it off.